Hello and welcome to another video, and we have the roadmap for April, May, and beyond. This was dropped in my time just an hour or so ago. I've just had enough time to read through it and sort of digest what it's talking about, and now to go through this roadmap and what is it going on? What is coming into the game in the spring of 2017? So first thing is, you're probably going to have to be on a computer with this set at 1080p in order to actually read this stuff. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, but still, you're probably going to have to be on a computer to read this. Otherwise, I will make sure to talk about everything that I am seeing. So if you're listening in on a phone or something, you can get your information that way. Alright, well, just standard opener here, but we don't need to focus on that. First up is what is coming in April. This is April 18th. This is 1 week away, if I am not mistaken. And it's patch day. We're going to get the Roughneck, and you can see a very nice picture of the Roughneck here. We can see where its hard points and hitboxes are going to be like. I think this mech is going to be really good. It looks very vertical in terms of its hitboxes. It's going to be able to torso twist quite nicely, and those hardpoint placements are excellent. Look how everything is high up. Everything is clustered around the cockpit. Literally, not a single weapon that could be not really that functional. Like, there may be a couple things in the arms, but whatever. This thing is going to be a torso master with its high mounted points here. So excellent. Nice to see that preview image. And that is the Roughneck 1AS. So this is the special version, supposedly. But moving on, other things that were coming in April, we're getting the Incursion game mode. So the game mode that was in PTS is now coming to the game. And it's going to be put in, and it's going to be only for quick play to start off with. Level designers are currently working to integrate Incursion into faction play for a future patch. So I made that video a little while ago. Where are the level designers? Where are the maps? And that was one of them. The ideas that I had of where could they be preparing maps to work with Incursion? Is that a thing? Well, there you go. We have an answer to that. Yes, they are working on maps, but just making them work for other game types and game modes and things like that. So, Incursion coming to quick play and then faction play later. A global floating chat. We're going to see improvements to the in-game chat systems for April and a new level of persistence and refinement to the front-end chat system. That's going to be really interesting. So, what I'm guessing this is going to be is that we're going to have the ability to open a chat window that will be able to float over everything. So if we go from main page to mech lab to faction play or whatever, we're going to click around and then this chat window will stay right where it is on top of everything. That would be amazing. It would be so nice. Give us that when we're searching as well. I hope it does that. Oh, as long as we can chat in game or we're searching, that'd be so much better. But otherwise, it's still a great chat thing, and you don't have to always have the little flashing icon in the bottom. You can just have it open and then slide it around. That's going to be great. Alpine Peak's Domination Beacon Relocation has a sentence. Say that 5 times fast. The initial adjustment to the Domination game mode for Alpine back in December didn't quite hit the mark. And that is true. It's a problem with Domination on several maps. You put it in one location, and one spawn simply has the advantage, because not only can they get it to it quicker, they can have better cover while they're there. And you may be like, well, as the crow flies, or as if you were running straight to the point, it's exactly the same in terms of distance. But you have to think about what's the route that somebody's going to take when they're trying to not get shot. So that's where things like Crimson Strait have some issues. But they've made some changes to Alpine Peak's Domination, And they're making further terrain adjustments for the line of sight to the beacon. So they're actually changing alpine peaks in order to make domination work better. So that's excessive. Like, they're actually changing the map to help that along. That is great. That's not just a reposition. That's better. We got command wheel and battle grid command improvements. And the commands issued through the command wheel and battle grid will now provide coordinate information to your teams along with the alerts. Oh, that's cool. So I could say, like, enemy spotted, and it'll say enemy spotted, Fox 2. You know what I mean? Will it be doing that? Will it be the audio? Will it just be in the chat, enemy spotted, and then I'll have that chat additional information there? Or we'll have, you know, it's nice that they're improving those stuff, but what is the improvement? Where exactly is this coordinate information coming from? But it's next patch, so we'll be able to see that quite quickly here. We got new loading screens. We see the example here with Tourmaline Desert Incursion. These are, I think, slick. It looks much more like a modern shooter in that sense. It looks good. It's nice to have a change. It'll give that fresh look to the game. And definitely some of the older stuff, older UI elements, looking a little dated. So having the new loading screen looks excellent. And then the last thing for April is there's going to be another public test for the skill tree. And that's really important because the full release of the feature is planned for May. So it's going to come in May if everything goes fine. Unless something goes completely wrong, it'll come in May. This is our last chance at giving any feedback possible for the skill tree. And the main questions I have for it are, how much are you going to be refunding people so that they get back their equivalent amount of progress that they have done so far, and the different power to investment of points and all that kind of stuff. But we have one more time to test it before it hits the live servers, and of course I will do a full breakdown of the changes to the skill tree when it goes live. Coming up in May, we're going to have the Javelin, and you know, it's going to be the first light mech in a very long time, so it has certain people extremely excited to just have a light mech in the game because we haven't had it. And also, one of them, one of those Javelins has like 285 max engine, and we're doing some calculations earlier, and it can get to like 165 kph. That's a fast mech, so we're going to see those Javelins dashing around the battlefield at high velocities. Then May, as we said before up here, the skill tree is planned to go in, and all of its related things are going to get the engine desync, or get any balance adjustments that go with skill tree, such as quirk changes and stuff like that, because they're going to take away a lot of the weapon quirks, because you're going to be able to put them back in skill tree. And we'll get a complete rundown of the changes when they see the new skill tree compared to the previous testing phase. And it's outside of the scope of the roadmap, and that's understandable. They'll put up a separate post describing all of those changes when it gets closer to. Some minor changes here for turret performance optimization. Turret objects were receiving some model optimizations in May, so just slight performance gains where turrets are involved. Probably, I don't know, maybe taking away polygons from them in places that were not needed, you know, just making the turrets a little less resource heavy, which is always good. Get your more frames out of your game, enables you to peg those lights as they're running around because it's silky smooth. But going along here, Quick Draw and Victor weapon refits. Oh yes, the Victor desperately needed that, because they are some of the very last ones to not have a weapon retrofit. And what that means is, previously, back in the old MechWarrior, back in beta and stuff like that, your weapons would have a certain amount of tube limits for your missiles. And one of the, for example, the one I have still, the Victor Hero, the Dragon Slayer, It has one that was a 6, one that was a 4, and one that was a 2, just because that was its base weaponry. And if you try to put 3 6s on that, one would fire completely, one would fire 4 then 2, and one would fire 2 2 2, or something along those lines. Like, it was so annoying to have to build for that. But now they're going to make it so that as you put in stuff, it'll automatically adjust, just like the majority of mechs do now. But these are really just catching these 2 mechs up to the standard, and that is going to be great. I see Victor Brawling is making a comeback, as when you can do triple CERM 6 AC20 on certain Victors. Excellent. Also, what I'd love to do, just when you make the change to the Victors, just can you remove the lower arm actuator on the hero? I want an AC20 in it. It would be so good. But yeah, we're moving on here. Into June, we got the Innersphere Hero mechs as the main thing there. All those wonderful resistance. They're the resistance ones. Things like the Grasshopper, the Mauler, that kind of stuff. The Black Knight. And we're getting the 8v8 competitive ranked mode. So this will be a competitive play set to be sort of the precursor to the next MechWarrior Online main tournament. So you're going to be competitive leaderboards, team registration. It's going to have it's going to be real official. They're going to have an API. Ooh, community-run leagues will be able to access the API to draw match data for their own brackets and match result systems. That's really cool. But yeah, I am personally not a competitive player, so I don't care much about this competitive mode, but it's nice to see it there. I do have some concerns about its viability, but I'll talk about that in another video. And then looking ahead, what's some things that could come at any point throughout 2017? And we know that we're getting the Civil War technology and timeline advancement, new weapons and equipment. Those are most likely coming in July or August, I believe, with the Civil War packs. I can't remember exactly when they're coming out, but it'll be later summer. The 2017 supporter pack, they did this last year for increasing the MechWarrior Online World Championships prize pool. And it was like a $10 or $15 little pack. I think it was $10. And you bought it, it gave you 10% additional C-bills until the tournament. So that was like 8 or 9 months if you bought it immediately. And it supported the tournament, which is a great thing because it makes the tournament prize pool bigger, it generates hype, it gives you some really cool war horns and cockpit items, and it gets you 10% additional C-bills for the year, practically. And I think it's a great thing. I got the last one in 2016, and the last one in 2016 came out on April 20th, if I'm remembering correctly. That is literally a week and a half away from right now. So we could probably see this tournament supporter pack before the end of April. And I'll do a video on it when it comes out, but really, buy it when it comes out. It's pretty worth it for $10 if you're playing the game regularly. Improved spectator tools. This is always useful if I'm trying to do a recording. I want to have improved ability to move my camera around. There's a few things that I'd like to... I should make another video talking about what I really want out of a spectator camera. But I'm glad to see that there are improvements. Mech Inverse Kinematics, which is when you have your character, their leg automatically snaps to the ground. So if you say you have your mech and it's on a hill and you're facing side on to the hill, your one leg would be higher than the other. Where right now your legs are at the same height and it looks like one is shoved into the hill and one's floating in midair because the place where your mech connects to the ground is in the center. But with IK, the legs would be different, and it would be like you were properly walking on the hill. Hopefully that comes along, and they apologize for the delays on that, but there must be some background coding thing that is getting in the way. A faction play special event system. I have no idea what that's going to be like, but it sounds cool. So there's going to be, hopefully, my wildest dreams would be that they would have an in-game system there. They wouldn't have to rely on the website, and they could have faction play events with rewards and goals and everything completely within the game. That would be amazing. I always think that this game needs a daily system and a daily reward delivery system that isn't the website for its events. And if you can start that in faction play, you can move that over to quick play as well in the future. So that's great. Faction play improvements. They're integrating suggestions and feedback from the faction play roundtables. That's great. Interesting to see what they have chosen from those tables to put into the game and to make those improvements, but we have no information on which ones they have chosen from those roundtables. Then Incursion game mode for faction play. I always think that this game mode was going to work better in faction play, just because it promoted the, you're actually going to work on the objective and not just kill your opponents. Because you can't really kill your opponents that quickly in faction play, and it's better to just kill the objective to win. So I think it'll be better played in faction play, but we shall have to wait until that eventually comes out. And then new maps, and it's the only one here that has ever had an exclamation mark in this entire post. And I wonder if it's because a certain YouTuber made a video a little while ago calling them out on the fact that they haven't had maps in 6 months. Maybe. I don't know. But hopefully those come out sooner than later. I don't want it to be that it would be after June. Like, June looks, pretty light here. So hopefully there's a map in June. If not, maybe May, come on. And then at very least, there has to be a map in July. There has to be. At that point, it would be 9 months since the last change in quick play maps, and 16, if I'm doing my math correctly, since the last completely original new quick play map. So that is too long of a drought. We need a new map. It better be June, or it has to be July. Otherwise, stuff's going to go down. And then the 2017 Annual Rewards Program. This is something they've been continuing for years upon years, and I think it's a really good thing. They're giving back to their community, saying, hey, you have supported the game, you've played, you've purchased. Here's some hero mechs, basically. Mechs that are new variants, so new variants of existing mechs. Sometimes change the mech completely and how it plays, like it did with the Hellbringer, allowing it to go completely torso-based energy in the last rewards program. Or like the Mask Cataphract, which gave that mech, kind of a sluggish mech, a huge boost to mobility. Really fun mech to drive. I did do a video a while ago where I did a Reddit post where I called them out and did some calculations about how much you could spend and not get the rewards because you had to buy specific things. It went over a little poorly, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to do a better way on how you qualify for those rewards program this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what the rewards are and what the tiers are in order to get them. Then they have upcoming mechs. We have, of course, we know the Civil War pack, the Clan Heroes pack, but new standard C-Bill variants of Clan Wave 2 and 3 mechs featuring distinct loadouts. That's cool. So we're going to get brand new mechs for Wave 2 and 3, things like the Ebon Jaguar, the Hellbringer, the Executioner, the Gargoyle, all those kind of mechs. That's great, because I did have some concerns about the Hero Omnipods. The fact that it was like, well, obviously that mech is stronger. Like, why don't you release a version of that in C-Bill form? So if they do that, if they quash some of these problems, like the ECM on the Ice Ferret only being on the Hero, that would be so much better. It'd make me way happier. Things you need to include in this list, not just Wave 2 and 3, but all the clan mechs. Give me a Kit Fox that has the energy hardpoints like the Purifier. I need that in C-Bill form because all of my Kit Foxes, yes, I actually have multiple Kit Foxes. I collect them. They're cute. But I need that on my other one because I just have it on my Purifier right now. I need another. And then going on from there, Clan 2C Heroes. So Yes, another few 2C mechs, some hero mechs within those. I think that'll be great. I can't wait to see what those mechs are and to most likely purchase them. Then MechCon 2017 and the 2017 MechWare Online World Championships. And of course, and more. Because you're never going to end it off of like, yeah, that's probably it. You know, we won't do anything more than that. Always got to leave it open-ended so that you can, surprise, we did something totally random that we weren't expecting. But yeah, that's going to be it for just going through the roadmap. I'm looking forward to a lot of these changes, and we'll be covering them when they come out. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, and good hunting.